appointed by.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So Governor General, they were the Governor General were the East India Company. As we know that 1857 revolt held by the East India Company, they fought with the Indian rulers and they captured the power. The traders became the rulers. That we know that. And that East India Company used to send the rulers to India. They were called as a Governor General. Most important, prominent Governor General William Bentinck, Dalhousie, Wellesley, and that is none other than the, yeah. So they implemented some rules and regulations. Their main task was how to establish the East India Company in India and to expand the East India Company in India. They completed their task. After that task, 100 years, it took near about 100 years, permanent settlement, next the, yeah, subsidiary alliance, doctrine of lapse, socio-religious reform, so many things they implemented in India. When they implemented all these things, that helpful for to raise the voice among the Indians, number one. Number two, it made the Indians a little bit aware, educated, Western thoughts they able to bring to India. That also helpful. So knowingly or no, unknowingly, bringing that reform in India, they able to, yeah, Aditi, welcome. So just we are recapping that yesterday's point. We'll continue with that. Okay. So, along with that changes, knowingly or unknowingly, they able to bring some changes in India. What was the most important change? That was none other than awakening. Okay, Western culture, Western concept we able to get in India. So that was one of the remarkable development in India during this British or East India Company, which they brought the reforms, right? And after that, all the changes, it able to help the Indians to raise their voice against the British rule, and that result we know in the form of revolt of 1857, right? Yesterday we discussed all the causes, socio-economic, military cause, immediate cause we read. What was the immediate cause? They introduced one of the rifle that was called as a Enfield rifle. Okay, and that Enfield rifle, what was it is believed they forced the Sipai to use the cartridge. That Enfield rifle, they have to use one cartridge, and they forced the Indian Sipai to use that. But there was a rumor that in that that cartridge they have to use, they have to remove the top with the mouth. And it was believed that that cartridge was made out of the fat of cow or the pig. Okay. As a result, Indian strange, yeah, Sipais, they religion point of view, some cause of view, they denied to use that. Okay, that was the immediate cause we can say, and with that pig or the cow cartridge, and they could not prove it. In fact, the suspicious of the Sipai was true, since the greased cartridge contained an animal fat, as the name suggested that the fat came from that British added fat to fire. The Sipais saw a deep conspiracy to destroy their religion faith. So that was the main reason. As a result, we can say this introduction of sometimes you may get the question, what might be the reason behind the immediate cause of the Sipai mutiny? So this is considered as a immediate cause. Every revolt, every war, okay, caused by a immediate spark. It may be the World War One. Yeah, let me just go to the World War One. So World War One also sparked by immediate cause. The murder of Ferdinand French Archduke was the immediate cause for the outbreak of World War Two. Similarly, World War One, World War Two also, when Hitler attacked the Poland on 1st September 1939, that was the immediate spark. Every revolt, every war sparked by a immediate cause. So also Sipai mutiny. So here we can say Sipai mutiny was sparked because of the yeah, the introduction of this greased Catrace, that you can remember, right? So now let us see up to this. Yesterday we completed, right? Now we are going to the course of the revolt, how the revolt was spread throughout India. Very important part. So many names. Please remember and try to note down. Okay. First, the symptom of the revolt was marked by the Barakpur in Bengal. Okay, early 1857. But Barakpur in Bengal, it was suppressed. Try to remember. Barakpur in Bengal, that was the beginning. But by force, the British and the strong army in the Bengal, they suppressed that. Next one, the historians are giving importance to Meerut. Okay, on 10th May 1857, the Meerut, the sepoys, they opened the revolt. They started broke out the killing of English general, burned down the houses, and release the prisoners. Meerut, it is near to the Delhi, in and around 10 kilometer, 10, 12 kilometer away from the Delhi. Okay, though there was about near about 2,000 English soldiers. Sepoy became more aggressive, and they able to completely bring Meerut under the control of the Sepoy. And from that, from Meerut, it spread to Delhi, which is nearby, so-called the capital. Okay, important capital city by the time. There were very few English soldiers at Delhi also. The Indian soldiers, they joined Meerut force, and then after joining there, Meerut to Delhi, and in Delhi, the Indian soldiers also able to capture Delhi in their hand. Europeans were killed. The good fortune of the government, it was from the telegraph office at Delhi. They wanted to give the message to the others. That was also broken down. But from Delhi, Punjab, they already informed to the Punjab, but unfortunately, Punjab was unable to join with the revolt. Punjab force in the British force in Punjab, they made it calm and they did not allow the Sepoy to uprise. Okay, that was one, yeah, positive thing in favor of British. Indian Sepoys of Punjab unable to participate in this Sipahi mutiny. That was one of the greatest success of the British, we can say. Otherwise, Punjab regiment was a bigger regiment. Okay. Next, these are the things. Meerut. So three places we came to know. One is the Barakpur, the beginning place, but it was suppressed. Then success in the Meerut and the Delhi. Now, who led this Sipahi mutiny in India? The rebels quickly captured the Mughal palace at Delhi. There they proclaimed the old Bahadur Shah II Jafar, Bahadur Shah Jafar II. Okay, the old man at the age of 82, 83 around, he proclaimed as the leader of these sepoys. Try to remember, Bahadur Shah Jafar II. He was the last Mughal dynasty ruler, also we can say. After that, there was no Mughal dynasty. Okay, and Bahadur Shah Jafar too had two sons. They were shot dead, and Bahadur Shah Jafar after the revolt. Okay, Bahadur Shah Jafar was sent to Myanmar, present Myanmar by the time Burma, and he was also killed. So the British 1857 revolt, one of the greatest achievement. Try to remember that. Anyhow, we will come back once again with this point. Mughal dynasty as the emperor of India. The news of the fall of Delhi spread quickly to the different part of other parts. So Yamuna, by that time they used to consider Indian country with the help of rivers. So with that point of view, if you see the river, the fall of this result, the fall of Delhi and Meerut spread to other part. So we can say the revolt was spread between river Yamuna to Narmada. It spread till river Yamuna to Narmada, up to Narmada. Beyond that, we are unable to get any success. Okay, let us complete what happened. The Sepoys became proud to possess as Delhi. They felt to fight further. On the other hand, the loss of Delhi was a great, huge loss and a blow to the British prestige. Okay, Within that time, another northern part was Kanpur. Let us see to Kanpur. Within the short period, the revolt spread to the entire northern region of the Gangetic Valley. As I told you, in ancient time or even up to medieval period, we used to identify the Indian areas with the help of river. So this is the Gangetic Valley, means in and around river Ganga, right? And over many places of the central India, it spread. For example, river Satluj to river Narmada. The Sepoys of India, by declaring their revolt against the British, they able to spread their agitation between river Satluj. Satluj, I hope you know that that is tributary of river Indus, okay, Punjab and Haryana. So there, from there to up to river Narmada. Yeah, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, up to Narmada, right? So now let us see one place. It spread Delhi, Bareilly, in Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow, Kanpur, Agra, Benares, yeah, Jhansi. Okay, these are all areas. Mostly they are located in the northern part. These are all areas were completely supported to these sepoys. And yeah, a number of places in Rajputna and the Bihar. Even Rajputna, that is Rajputna means now Rajasthan, and Bihar. In some places of there also we able to see the spread of this revolt. Let us know the Rajput warrior Kunwar Singh, how he participated in that. Okay, Rajput warrior Kunwar Singh of Bihar, his name was Nana Sahib. Okay, Nana Sahib gave a great direction to the force from Kanpur. The Sepoy of Kanpur and the people declared him as their Peshwa and followed his leadership at Kanpur. Okay, remember Bihar. Nana Sahib was declared. Then there were about 400 English soldiers in the Kanpur. They fought for some day, but at last they surrendered to Nana Sahib's soldiers. And there was a conspiracy about these 400 soldiers. Nana Sahib's soldiers promised the Britishers to cross the river bank. Okay, they assembled nearby the river Ganga, but when they assembled there, unfortunately, this Nana Sahib's army killed almost all these British except 4 or 5 members. They got alive, but remain all were killed, and this was called as the Kanpur massacre. In the history of India, it was called as the massacre of Kanpur. Okay, it was said that soldiers of Nana Sahib killed even some English women and children, and they threw their dead bodies into a well. That much of agony they had. Why they were that much of agony? I mean, took that severe step because the Indians were that much of angry, agony. They had no, yeah, little bit mercy towards the Britishers because the British exploited the Indians for these many years. So this was an opportunity to reveal their agony. So that was the result of massacre of Kanpur. I hope this massacre of Kanpur, reaction of Indians. Okay, nothing else. Anyhow, the English never forgot the Kanpur episode, and later on, of course, they have taken revenge. It was not known, yet not known, whether Nana Sahib was personally responsible for this Kanpur massacre or his army. Anyhow, this is one of the involvement of Indian sepoys of Kanpur we can understand. Okay. Later on, next after the Kanpur, I hope you are understanding all the class. Okay, simple one. Next, after the Kanpur, let us go to the Lucknow. The rebels in the Lucknow fought against the British force and pushed them to under the control. The Talukdar and the peasants of Oudh took up the arms and fought against the British. And by that time, Indians had a good warfare. What was that? Guerrilla warfare. They were very strong. Guerrilla warfare, I hope it was one of the war tactics in Andhra. Gudem Hills, Alluri Sitaram Raju, during the Italy unification, Mazzini, Cavour, yeah, Garibaldi, especially Garibaldi, those people had that guerrilla warfare. Means they used to hide and attack the Britishers without any weapons, such type of war tactics. Anyhow, in Lucknow, they applied this guerrilla warfare and they created problem for the British government. Okay, Lucknow also we can say success. Then the revolt took place, serious shaping the other central India, the famous Maratha Brahmins. Okay, Maratha. If you see the leader of the Maratha Brahmin, please note down, the leader of the Maratha Brahmins by that time was Tatya Top, which is also called as Tantya Top also. Whatever you want, you can write Tatya, Tatya Top, Top, or Tantya Top also some are telling Tantia. Whatever you want, you can. Tatya Top took up the leadership of 20,000 rebel sepoys at Gwalior among the Maratha. Okay. Under his command, the rebel achieved a success and they crossed the river Yamuna and joined the army with Nana Sahib. And by that time, the British, this area, commander of British, we can say general of the British, Windham, General Windham, very important. This is the question they may ask. Who led the British in Maratha against Satyatop? The question may be like that. Okay, very important, try to remember. So the leader was General Windham, who came to resist them was defeated. The victory encouraged the Tatyatop to advance rapidly. At last, his soldiers reached Jhansi and joined the force of Rani Lakshmi Bai. Right? The British power stood at the darkened hours in India. So, this is what we able to know the role of Kunwar Singh. Next, Lucknow. Of course, Lucknow, all the sepoys, no particular leaders. And then we can see here Maratha, Tatyatop, then how they met with Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi. The revolt became successful at several places. Yeah, quite for some time, the war was continued to uncertain future, both Indian soldiers and East India Company. Even there was much good movement for the British, and then the British side little bit more heavier, and it suppressed the revolt. What were the causes? But at last we can see the British side was a little bit heavy, and they fought desperately against the Indians, and then the course of the war was changed, and Indian soldiers or the sepoys were suppressed. Okay, the suppression of the revolt. I hope you are understanding, right? So let me see once again how it was started in the Barakpur, then Meerut. After the Meerut, we went to the Bahadur Shah Jafar II. He was declared as the Emperor of India on behalf of sepoys, right? Last Mughal Emperor. Next, we have seen about the Kunwar Singh, the role of the Kunwar Singh in the Kanpur. After that, Lucknow. I hope you have understood and you have written that. Next, the Maratha. The Marathas under the leadership of Tatya Tope. Next, yeah, most important, who was the Britishers led this Tatya Tope? That is none other than General Windham. Okay, but unfortunately he was a little weak. He unable to resist or suppress Tatya Tope. Then Tatya Tope army met with the Kunwar Singh's army. Then they joined with the hands of Rani Lakshmi. So we can say from river, yeah, Satluj to until Narmada, Indian sepoys were a little bit good. They achieved a lot of things. But unfortunately, the role of sepoys in India confined to that area. They are unable to expand further. In the south also, so many were there. Nizam, okay, Mysore, next the so these all are the strong Indian sepoys, but they did not participate. They remained silent. Okay, we are unable to anyhow. During this failure, we will discuss. Now, as this much of bigger revolt was started, what step taken by the East India Company? We can say it's better to remember East India Company because, as I told you, until yeah, 1858, India was ruled by the East India Company only. So let us see what step have been taken by the East India Company to suppress the Sipai mutiny. Um, if you see, after the fall of the Delhi, it was Punjab being governed by the able administrator. Note down, please. Punjab was by the time when this Sipai mutiny was going on, Punjab was ruled by John Lawrence. Please note down. He applied the track to keep Punjab aloof. They did not allow the Punjab Sipais to know about the revolt and all this. As a result, the strong Sikh regiment of India remained aloof from the Sipai mutiny. So that was one of the drawback, right? And that was one of the, we can say, back footstep of the Sipais. The presidency of Bombay at that time was ruled by the popular governor, Lord Elphinstone. He was also able to keep the area calm. Please note down, these are the two established administrator of East India Company. One was Punjab. Punjab, I told you, he was none other than the John Lawrence. Please note down. That is important. This may be the bit, this may be the objective. Okay, another one is the popular governor of the Maharashtra or Bombay, we can say, which was one of the most important regiment by the time, and Lord Elphinstone. And he also did not give it any type of hint toward the Sipais of Bombay. As a result, the two bigger part of India, strongest part, one is the Punjab, another is Maharashtra or Bombay, unable to participate in this Sipai mutiny. That was the drawback of the Indian Sipais, and they lost the support of these two, and that was one of the that kept the Indian Sipais backward. Okay, apart from that too, one is Punjab, another is Bombay. Many other parts like the Rajputna, and here we can say the Nizam of Hyderabad. Okay, the Begum of Bhopal. Next, the king of Nepal under the Maratha leader. Okay, Sindhyas. Then these people also quite remain silent. They did not participate in this Sipai mutiny. Please remember, Hyderabad Nizam. Next, the Rajputna. Next, that is none other than the Bhopal king of Nepal, Maratha, the Sindhya. These people were a little bit reluctant to participate in the Sipai mutiny. Apart from that, if you'll see other strong areas in the south part, okay, the south part also did not get any support. The Sipais of India didn't get any good support from the south part also. So these all are some of the drawback or the lacuna we can say. Along with that, let us see the detail about the drawbacks or the failure. If you see, the main cause for the failure was none other than so many factors were responsible. Let us see. The British wanted to recapture Delhi first of all. After the weakening of this revolt, little bit when it was a little bit weakened, by the time British wanted to gain their lost prestige, Delhi was a great, yeah, it created a lot of huge insult for the Britishers. By hook or crook, they wanted to get the Delhi. They wanted to recover the lost prestige. As a result, the Mughal they also wanted to destroy the troop and the Mughal army or the Mughal throne. As a result, by the time they proclaimed emperor, Mughal emperor was illegal. George Nicholson, a brave English soldier, proceeded from Punjab to fight for Delhi. His cannons blew off famous Kashmiri Ghat of Delhi, and bloody streets were completely, he killed thousands of people in Delhi. And finally, the British Emperor, yeah, taken into prison Bahadur Shah Jafar II. So Delhi was given under the control of, please note down, General Nicholson during the 1857 revolt, who was given in charge of Delhi to fight against Bahadur Shah Jafar. He was none other than General Nicholson. Please remember. Okay, such type of objectives very very important, right? Next, anyhow, Bahadur Shah Jafar was captured. He was taken into prison, his two sons and a great son also, two son and grandson also, they were shot dead by the British. And British general Hudson. Hudson was very another notorious British officer by that time, and this Hudson killed them. Then, in the words of the English, yeah, then they have taken this Bahadur Shah Jafar to Rangoon. By that time, it was called Rangoon, Burma. At present, it is called as Myanmar. And in Myanmar, without giving food, that is another episode we'll discuss later on. Now it is not required, I think. So by giving a lot of cruel punishment, finally they killed the Bahadur Shah Jafar. Even his dead body also they didn't bring. Where did they keep in the Myanmar till now? It is unknown. Anyhow, so in this way, the British captured the Delhi, they gained the lost prestige, and and they declared Mughal emperor, end to the Mughal emperor with the arrest and the killing of the children and all this Bahadur Shah Jafar. The Mughal empire, which was established in 1526. I hope we read that one. Okay, at least Aditi ji have remembered because we completed that all. Yeah, yes, Swini also. I hope you remember Mughal empire, which started in 1526 with the Battle of Panipat. Babur came, fought with the Ibrahim Lodi. So that that Mughal empire came into end with the arrest of Bahadur Shah Jafar II. Right, children? So this is one episode completed. Now let us see other leaders how they were captured. It is very difficult once again to recapture Lucknow. The British force tried to again and again, but failed to capture Lucknow. General Havelock and Outram could not resist the English soldiers, and at last it was left with the great hardship. And finally, the British commander in chief, Colin Campbell, please note down, British commander in chief, Colin Campbell, he was given the charge to capture Lucknow to achieve the success of regain of Lucknow. But several months it took, and finally, both the Lucknow were captured by the commander-in-chief, British commander-in-chief, Colin Campbell. Okay, the great threat of British now from Rani Lakshmi Bai. We know that Rani Jhansi, Rani Lakshmi Bai, okay, she lost her kingdom. She became the victim of the doctrine of lapse of Dalhousie, which was introduced, that the ruler without any original hire cannot be the king or the queen. So Rani Lakshmi Bai was victim of that. Along with that, Tatyato, right? So Rani Lakshmi Bai and Tatyato, they fought very tremendously. And that Maratha Brahmin Tatyato, their successor, their successor, and they fought bravely. They fought bravely, and the commander in chief and the general, they able to fight. By that time, they gave a successful battle, but finally, June 1858, Rani Lakshmibai died by fighting with the British, and it revolted, or we can say this was a great drawback of Indian soldiers with the death of the Rani Lakshmibai. Then, Tatya Tope also arrested, and he escaped. He went to the Nepal forest, and finally, this Lucknow or that Jhansi and that Maratha also were under the control of British. In this way, the British tried to regain one by one. Lucknow they regain, Jhansi they regain, and Maratha they regain. Okay, one by one, all these lost territories once again recaptured by the British army, right? So with this, we can say one of the greatest. Then what did they do? After, of course, it is not that important, but the British wanted to take the, they killed mercilessly number of sepoys. They did not give any facility. so many steps were taken against the British Indian soldiers. Wherever a single symptom of revolt, they were suppressed forcefully. Such type of steps were taken. As a result, that helpful for the British to get success to suppress the Sipai mutiny. Right? The English who showed kindness towards during this time. Most important, who was the Governor General? Okay, Lord Dalhousie. We know that Lord Dalhousie went in 1857. After that, Lord Canning came to power. Okay, Governor General Lord Canning, and this Lord Canning had little bit sympathy toward the Indian soldiers. He wanted to suppress that, but never wanted to kill mercilessly. Okay, so that helped the Indian sepoys. And then what happened? Then the British proclamation, the revolt of 1857 collapsed because of the following reasons. What are the main reasons? Let us complete. Then the result we will see. First of all, please note down what are the causes for the failure of revolt. Little bit fast we will go. 3 minutes left over. First of all, this Sipai mutiny was organized, but there was no proper strategy. No one able to guide them properly. There was no spirit of nationalism in order to resist the foreigners. Okay, for a longer period. Of course, for the short period, that Lucknow or that is none other than the Maratha or the Jhansi, they gathered, but it was not a permanent solution. And most of the Indians, they did not participate at all. And the Punjab, we can say, and this is, so there was no proper unity and proper plan. We can say that was the major cause for the failure. Secondly, though the northern and the central region of Indian sepoys raised their standard of the revolt and they revolted, but it was not that helpful because some of the South Indian and important regions were unable to participate. So that was another cause for the failure that we can say. Similarly, the Punjab remained isolated. Then the Nizam, another important power that remained isolated, right? The South India, after the Narmada, South Indians, they are unable to participate. That also we can say one of the failure. Thirdly, rebels could not organize, unite military front against their enemies. So the way the use of weapons also one of the factor. The Sipais used the traditional weapons, whereas the British government used the sophisticated weapons. 1 minute left over. Let us complete. If it is possible, we'll join again. So the Britishers use the sophisticated weapons class, whereas Indians, the Sipais, they were know the use of weapon, but they didn't have the weapon. Secondly, financially also they didn't afford any money for purchasing the sophisticated weapon. That also weapons. That also one of the failure we can say. Another is the no communication. What is going on in the northern part? Unable to communicate with the other areas. Okay, blindly they made one program, so no proper communication each other. That also one of the factor. And the strong rule. Bahadur Shah Jafar too, at the age of 82 plus, was declared as their leader. The fellow who unable to stand properly, how can he lead these sepoys? A great war without any proper plan, without any proper. They started all this, so that was also one of the major cause for the failure. The arms and the weapons used, and that all we can say. These all are some of the drawbacks due to which British fortunate to possess some of the remarkable generals who were very strong, who were very powerful by that time. As we know that, some of the Nicholson or that is Oram, next the Campbell,